All right, guys. In this video, we are gonna go over the work on page 165 and 166. I'm gonna read through some of the instructions, and then we're gonna look at a couple of the problems. And as you watch the video, go to your English books to page 165. Make sure all the problems on that page have been done correctly based on the information that we review right now. All right, so on page 165, you're given a box, and it gives all the personal pronouns, and it breaks it up into their cases, okay? So you've got your nominative case, your objective case, and your possessive case. And there you see under your nominative case list, you have I, you, he, she, it, we, they, okay? It's very important that you memorize them in that order, okay, for the nominative case. And then for the objective case, you have me, you, him, her, it, us, them. Also memorize those in that order for the objective case. And then lastly, you have kind of two sets here, my, mine, your, yours, his, her, its, our, ours, their, and theirs, okay? Those are the possessive case pronouns. Now, we'll talk a little more about the possessive case pronouns. It's very, very important that you memorize all of these pronouns in the order that they're in under their correct cases. That'll help you to identify pronouns whenever you're looking at a sentence, whether you're trying to see whether the personal pronoun they use is right or wrong. Okay, so memorizing them will help you. That way you're not just going, you're not always flipping back to page 165 to check it, okay? Here we see that the nominative case functions as a subject and a predicate nominative, okay? So it's either gonna be the subject of the sentence or a predicate nominative. And remember, the predicate nominative is a word that follows a linking verb, okay? Not an action verb, a linking verb. We learned that for chapter number 8, I believe, a couple weeks ago. And then the objective case, that's for your words that function, pronouns that function as direct objects, indirect objects. Now remember, direct objects and indirect objects are nouns or pronouns that follow an action verb, okay? And then the object of the preposition, okay? That's a word that's inside a prepositional, the noun or pronoun inside a prepositional phrase. And I've posted a list of the prepositions. You should be able to access it if you don't have it. Off the top of my head, I don't remember where the list is in the book, but we will get it. I can get it to you again if you don't have it, but you do have to have all those prepositions memorized. Okay, what I was gonna talk about, as it mentions in the book, the words that are italicized in the book, I've underlined them here: my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. All of these words function as adjectives, and there you see the words its and his. These can function as adjectives or pronouns, okay? So just so that you make that distinction, in the next chapter we're going to be learning about adjectives and adverbs, I believe, and so we'll touch some more on this. But right now what I want you to do is I want you to look at your problems 1 through 15 in Think A, and I want you to double check and make sure that you've only checked off the pronouns that are actually possessive case pronouns and not contractions. Whenever we make a noun into whenever we have a noun and we're trying to make it show possession, we add an apostrophe S. So if I wanted to say my car, you could say Mr. Gonzalez's car, or Brother Kevin's car. I'm gonna write Kevin's. Instead of his, we write Kevin's, and we would put an apostrophe S, okay? These words as they are show their possession. There's no need to add an apostrophe to show possessions for these pronouns. And I think that can confuse you guys sometimes. And so that's what Think A, that's why that exercise is there. You need to make sure that you're checking off the possessive case pronouns and not contractions. So a really common one is here. It shows possession, okay? But it's pronounced the same way as its, apostrophe S. Now apostrophe S, remember, is a contraction. It's the shortened form of its, oops, put too much space, its is, okay? So we need to make that distinction. We're not underlining or we're not checking off the contractions. We're only checking off the words that are in possessive case. Let me grab my eraser. Sorry about that. All right, let's go over to page number 166. Page 166, okay? I'm gonna read through the sentence, and in the instructions it says, if all the possessive pronouns and contractions in a sentence are spelled correctly, you write correct on the blank. And then if one of the pronouns is spelled incorrectly, draw a line through the incorrect spelling and write the correct spelling in the blank, okay? So the sentence reads, is this property yours? And it has yours with the contraction, okay, apostrophe S. This is the incorrect usage of the pronoun. The correct usage would be your, so you would write your on the blank. Then for question number 2, the car has its problems, but it's still a bargain, okay? So the first it's has an apostrophe S, but that is the incorrect usage again of that pronoun, okay? It's not, you wouldn't read the car has it is problems, you would say the car has its problems showing possession, okay? And this would be the correct usage of the pronoun, its, ITS, no apostrophe. Then number 3, your report received the highest grade in our class, Ethan. There we see several different pronouns and several different possessive pronouns. You see your and our, both there, and both of those are used correctly. So you would simply leave it as is. I have your here, I could add our. Both of these are in our list of possessive case pronouns, but both of them are used correctly. So you could write correct on the blank and make sure that's what you have. My dog wags its tail when I get home from school each day. Okay, so there's a couple here as well, and I could add my to this one. So both my and its are both used correctly in this sentence. All right, here we see my is one of our one of our possessive pronouns, and so is its, and they're both in their correct form. So you could write correct on the blank. Number 5, this paper is mine. Okay, that's one possessive pronoun, and that's used correctly. Then you have your paper is on your desk, but the your is written with a contraction. You wouldn't say your paper is written on the desk. So this one would be crossed out, and you would substitute it with the correct form of your for number 5. Next, number 6, beavers build their homes in the water. Okay, the form of there that they use is they apostrophe re. You wouldn't say they are homes in the water. You would say there. Okay, so they are or there. The contraction needs to be crossed out and replaced with the correct form of there. T-H-E-I-R. And then the last 2, I heard you're moving, and if you're reading along as you're watching the video, you'll see that that's a contraction, but that's the correct use of the contraction. Because you could substitute it. I heard you are moving to a house on our street, okay? There you have a couple of, there you have the possessive pronoun our, but that's being used correctly, okay? So you can go ahead and write correct on the blank, make sure that's what you have written. And then this shovel is mine, yours is there beside the fence. And so here we have yours, that's the possessive case pronoun. Again, no contraction, it's the correct form, so you can go ahead and write correct on the blank. Make sure that is what you have. All right, let's go ahead. This will be the last part of this video. So let's look at thing C. Write a nominative case pronoun, an objective case pronoun, and a possessive case pronoun that might refer to the following antecedents, okay? And the antecedents are there in your book, so I didn't write them down on the board. You have them on your book as you follow along. Note, unless you know what an animal is, male or female, refer to the animal as it, okay? So here we go. Number 1, the antecedent is mom and I. Mom and I can be replaced in a sentence with we, okay? Because it is functioning as the subject of the sentence, okay? And because it's functioning as the subject, we have to plug in the right pronoun. The pronoun has to be in nominative case plural, okay? I feel like I'm throwing a lot at you, but so we would write we. You can see this chart over on page 164. At the top of the page, you see nominative cases. The singular form would be I. The plural form would be is, we. Okay? So, mom and I, we. Mom and I, in referring to mom and I for an object, it would be substituted with us. Okay? Again, if you look at the chart on page 164, you see the objective case, plural, for mom and I would be us. So we would write us. So in your mind, you can think of it, you can think of a sentence. So mom and I went to the store. You can substitute mom and I with we went to the store. Or you could say they told mom and I, and you're substituting mom and I that we couldn't go into the store. So they told us that we couldn't go into a store. So mom, in reference to mom and I, you can substitute it for our. That is our car in reference to mom and I. Okay, so one shows possession, one shows either direct object or indirect object or object of preposition, and the other shows, in this case, subject. Okay, and the same is true for the next 4 that we're gonna do. So the next one, the antecedent, is turtle, and here we have a case of an animal. We don't know if the turtle is a boy or a girl, so we're gonna refer to it as it. So used as a subject, we would say it, or the turtle, crossed the street. Okay, so it crossed the street. If you said I caught the turtle, or you could say I caught it. Okay, that's being used as a direct object. And then the turtles, you could say the turtle's shell was shiny or dirty or stinky. Turtles are pretty stinky. Or you could say its shell is stinky. So that is showing possession, referring to the turtle's shell. Next, number 3, Mrs. Jenkins. So Mrs. Jenkins is the antecedent. Okay, so as a subject, we would say she. Mrs. Jenkins went to the store. We take out Mrs. Jenkins. She went to the store. Okay, used as a direct object. So I talked to Mrs. Jenkins. That's being used as an object of a preposition to Mrs. Jenkins. So I talked to her is what you would use. And then for possession, where is Mrs. Jenkins' car? You could say where is her car. Or in you could say I found out the purse was Mrs. Jenkins, or you can say I found out the purse was hers. Okay? Both of these show possessions. Both of these, the antecedent is Mrs. Jenkins. Remember, an antecedent is the word that the noun stands in place for. Okay? I'm sorry, that the pronoun stands in place for. Next, number 4. David and Pete. Okay? So as a subject, we have they. So they went to the store. As a direct object, indirect object, or object of preposition, it would be them. So I told Pete and Dave not to go to the store, or I could say I told them not to go to the store. So Pete and Dave's car got stolen, or you could say their car got stolen, okay, to show possession. And then lastly, number 5, we've got rooster. Okay, rooster is like a boy chicken. Rooster, that's what you would call them. All right, or a male. So that's what you call, so you know it's a male, so you can refer to it as he. So the rooster climbed up to the ceiling and woke everyone up, or he climbed up to the ceiling and woke everyone up. Same thing here, if it's being used as a direct object or indirect object or object of preposition, you could say him. So you could say I threw a rock at the rooster because it was waking me up. Or you could say I threw a rock at him, okay? And you would use him in the objective case. And then lastly, the rooster's cry woke me up. Roosters, see the apostrophe at, or S, or you could say his cry woke me up. Make sure you have all of those correctly in your book. For remember D, circle the personal pronouns of the following sentences. I trust that you'll be able to identify all the personal pronouns based on the charts that you have on page 164 and 165. Make sure you do that. In the next video, we're gonna go ahead and check the work for page 168 through 170. All right, guys, thanks for watching.